Bible says that it's not God's will that anyone should perish. Do you believe that? Can you believe that? Can you believe that although there are things going on in this world, that it is not God's will that anyone should perish? Can you still believe that? Even though earthquakes are happening, famines, and all these things, hunger, can you still believe that God's heart avails and abounds over all things? Can you believe that still? When Jesus says, blessed are the weak and those that were last, because they will be first in the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are the poor in spirit, right? So this life is but a vapor. The Bible also says that eyes have not seen and ears have not heard, that no mind has conceived what God has prepared for those that He loves. So can we believe that this is just a time and a season for us to find the will of God, to commune with God? He knows some people aren't going to choose, but you know what? He gives them that right. And He uses them for your benefit. All things work together for the greater good of those that are called by His name. You say, well, how does He use them for our benefit? He used Pharaoh for Moses' benefit. Right? How could Moses have parted the waters? It's estimated that there were 1 million people who left slavery. Listen to me. There were millions of people, at least 1 million people, who were broke slaves that left rich. Do you know that the Jews left Egypt rich? They didn't leave empty-handed. Moses' name reigns forever on the Mount of Transfiguration. Moses was there. But what did Moses have to do to part the waters? What did Moses have to do to be fathers of a generation that many people will always know his name? Do you know that the Muslims call out to Moses? They know that he is the father. The Jews, the Christians, even the Hindus recognize Moses. So going back to Pharaoh, time and time again, come on up with me, Leslie. Time and time again, it opened up an avenue, it opened up an opportunity for Moses to serve in a greater capacity. The earth is only training for reigning. It's a blessed opportunity that we have to show love and compassion. So that when we get to the place that God created for us, now everybody knows that verse, eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, no mind has conceived what God has prepared for those who love Him. But when you get to the next verse, it says, but it is made known by His Spirit, and those that have God's Spirit know His heart. For no one knows a man's heart better than his own spirit. So that means that no one knows God's heart better than his own spirit. And if you have the Spirit of God, do you know His heart? So now I ask you this again. If it says eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, no mind has conceived what God has prepared, does that apply to you? It doesn't apply to you because you can see. You can perceive what God has prepared for you. So what the Lord wants us to do in this time and this season is to consider these obstacles as invitations of faith. Whatever that obstacle is, maybe God hardened the heart of that husband, of that wife. Maybe God hardened the heart of that pastor, or that boss, of that friend. Maybe God hardened the heart of that person, but He is still telling you to call them anyways. This is your invitation. This is your invitation of faith. Don't look at it as an obstacle, but look at it as an invitation of faith. to partner with God. Peter asked Jesus, how many times should I forgive someone? If they sin 7 times, should I forgive them 7 times? He said, no, 7 times 77. As many times as they ask for forgiveness, this is our opportunity on earth to be greater than, to be light. So sometimes the hearts are hardened. Sometimes hearts are hardened against you. You give and you give and you give over and over, but people overlook you. They overlook the attention God which you give. I'll tell you today, you're in good company. So did they do to Elijah, Ezekiel, Jeremiah, Moses, Abraham. Most importantly, this is what they did to Jesus. No matter what they came against. So I ask you again, would God send you to a place, would he send someone he loves to be rejected? And I ask you, did he do that to Jesus? He did. But you have to trust God's heart. Listen to me and write it down if you're writing or if you're listening. Commit it to your memory. Commit it to your spirit. Sometimes you will not be able to trace God's hand. That means that sometimes you will not be able to know where God was present in a situation or in a purpose. Sometimes you cannot trace his hand, but you have to get to the place where you trust his heart.